I saw the light is back in the first class, thousandaire. Sometimes lugging silver around, I can feel it kind of tearing out my arms. It gets heavy, it really does. Not as heavy as my copper, definitely much heavier than my gold. What is it, about 100 times heavier than gold, value-wise, these days? I've been hearing so much pessimism about silver from the people I see in person, not the YouTubers, folks. Some of these channels love to push the silver bullion. They push it for their bullion dealer overlords, which makes them a salesman, like a vacuum cleaner salesman or a car salesman. Does it mean they're wrong? No. It just means I don't know if I can trust them. It's like doing product research from a commercial. So what about these people I see in person that are pessimistic about silver? I ask them why. Some respond with rather simple logic. Gold go up, silver no go up. Me want gold then, not silver. I wish I was making that up. I mean, whatever happened to buying low and selling high? Easier said than done, I know. But it should still be the goal, right? I'm not saying that we should be hotshot traders, fixated on short-term volatility. And I know it's difficult to overcome these emotions. You're in a traffic jam, you see the other lane starting to move, so you switch into that lane. And immediately it comes to a grinding halt and the lane you were just in starts moving. I know people with a lot of silver in the tens of thousands of ounces, and they're beaten down. I think this is silver $97 or 98. I got to do a count. I bought this last week with the Mercs. I still got to pick up one for the first week of May. If you're new here, I buy an old silver dollar each week, and it's been almost 100 weeks, and I'm going to keep doing it. Maybe silver is a dead horse, but I'm going to keep beating that dead horse. I've heard people talk about it, and I've always wanted to do it. I'm not sure where all these sayings came from. Like a dead cat bounce. Who's bouncing dead cats? I've seen a dead cat bounce on a chart, and that could just simply be a ball. If you drop a ball, it doesn't bounce as high as from the point you dropped it. You just don't need a cat carcass for that example. And I know the horse isn't alive, but what if the owner comes back while you're doing that and sees you doing that? They might cry or even get angry. People love their horses. I would say maybe even as much as they like other people sometimes. So beating a dead horse may not be a victimless crime. I could be very wrong about silver. I don't know what it's gonna do. Do you know, friendo? Put it in the comments below. I'd like to read it. Oh, and if you could also put why you think the way you do in that comment, I would really appreciate that, because anything else is just cheerleading. And no offense, but based on my analytics, you're probably not a pretty cheerleader. I know, it's frustrating trying to watch me get this in here. I want to do it with one hand. I don't think I can do it. I want to practice in case I end up with my arm in a sling from a blown out rotator cuff. All right, I can't do it. I can't do it yet. Maybe someday. I can't single-handedly put a Morgan dollar in a sleeve. Yeah, one day I'm going to blow out the rotator cuff lugging all this worthless silver around. I should have bought more gold instead. Psych. I'm happy with my silver. I'm also happy with my coffee thermos. This is a very valuable tool. A tool for acquiring more gold and silver, yes. I used to easily spend more than $8 a day stopping at shops and going through drive-thrus for coffee. I was working 6 days a week. I would spend about $48 at least each week on coffee. I tip heavy too. I don't know what my problem is. Maybe I have a guilty conscience or something. I don't know. I tip almost everyone everywhere when I'm doing business. I've read books on budgeting, and it comes up over and over again that you should give away like 10% of your cash. So I prefer to give it to people that are doing something useful. That's how I charity. Believe it or not, that 10% charity rule really did make me wealthier. How's that? Well, I was giving away more than 10%. So I cut back and kept more for myself. Keeping more for yourself may sound greedy, but if your wealth grows, it's very likely your income will grow too. Wealth attracts wealth. That's just how it is. In fact, like begets like in general. You put a smoke in your mouth, you're going to attract someone else who likes to burn their cash as well. You work hard, save, stack, invest. Guess what? You'll likely end up in a network of like-minded individuals with more opportunities, making more filthy fiat. So that 10% portion you give away, well, that grows too. Plus, you're generous, and like attracts like. So you may even find yourself wealthier in the middle of a very generous world. And this is why stacks grow faster than you may think. By the way, $48 a week on coffee is like $2,500 a year. If you haven't already, can you please hit the like button? I work for you, not the bullion dealers. Also, if you're still here and you find yourself enjoying yourself, maybe subscribe and stick around. And you'll have a friend that just keeps stacking forever. Well, at least until my demise. Some of these are solar. I'm thinking about getting a solar watch. Not anytime real soon. Right now, I'd rather buy Mercury dimes. I was looking for quotes on index cards that I wrote. I write gem quotes from books that I read on index cards. Here's one I keep on my dry erase in my kitchen, from a book you may have heard of, with a very popular author. It reads, "Joyful is the person who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. For wisdom is more profitable than silver, and her wages are better than gold." So because of this card, I was inspired to not only read books, I seek out gem quotes from the books and write them on index cards. You remember something much, much more if you write it down by hand. And also if you tape it to your wall or doors. Anyhow, I'm always looking for a quote to write down to create an index card that I believe is worth more than 1 ounce of silver. This card constantly inspires me to learn. So I believe it is worth more than 1 ounce of silver. I'll find my stash of quotes and share them with you later. I was just explaining to someone that stacking is not only materialistic. It's ironic, but by stacking money, real money, I learned that there's more to life than money. Money solves most of our problems. It does. But not all of them. But again, I think most of them. But if you don't have $35 or so for an ounce of silver today, maybe find something to write on a card that you think would be worth more than 1 ounce of silver. You've heard the saying, out of sight, out of mind. If that's true, then what about insight in mind? If you've never written a goal and posted it somewhere that you could see it every day, I know it may seem hokey, but there's untapped power that I think you just don't understand if you've never done this. Corporations understand it. Why do you think they spend so much money to put golden arches on their napkins? They're not just spending to spend. They know it works. So if you don't feel like reading a book, maybe write a goal on a card and tape it on a door or a wall. And I can guarantee you it will be worth more than 1 ounce of silver. You could even copy this card and make this the first thing you write down. And maybe it will inspire you too to learn more and seek out those gem quotes. All right, I gotta get ready to go to work. That's it. That is it. Thousandaire Radio, Wicked Shout. Join the pen pals. You can now write me at The Thousandaire Collector, 1700 Sullivan Trail, Suite 7, Box 111, Easton, Pennsylvania, 18040. Don't forget to include your info so I can put you on my mailing list. I made this video Saturday morning, May 10th, 2025. I kind of whipped it up fresh, so I don't have any unboxings or letter openings right now. But if you sent something, don't worry. It's in a pile, and I'm going to get to it soon. And thank you. Asparagus is really like one of the only things I cook in coconut oil these days. If you like coconut and asparagus, I know it sounds crazy, but you got to try them together. All right, I'm off to work.